So I've been doing videos on YouTube for this channel for over a year now, and I wanted to share a few things I've learned on the way. You see, I wanted to do YouTube videos way back in 2015, and at the time I was planning for a while what my channel would look like before I even tried recording the first video. The channel was supposed to be called Drunken Dragon Tavern and focused on fantasy in general. I wanted to talk about fantasy books, movies, shows, video games, fables, fairy tales, and so on. My idea was also to go around Czech castles and reenactment events and make something like travel vlogs from that. Another thing I wanted to do were covers of fantasy soundtracks and create fantasy music of my own. I had even more ideas for different video series, for example talking about different mythologies, but the point with all this is that even though the plan was pretty solid and it might have been successful, I've spent too much time planning what I'm going to do instead of actually doing it. So that's the first lesson. The second one is this. As I started making videos, I quickly noticed how cringy I often am. I didn't like the sound of my voice, my Czech accent, the fact that I make grammatical mistakes in English, and so on. But the actual root of my problem was that I was afraid of what other people might think about me. Because of that, I struggled with perfectionism, which held me back for a very long time, and even though I occasionally created some videos, it usually took me way too long to finish, because I tried to make them as perfect as possible, so that no one could criticize me for what I've created. But in the end, I was usually not satisfied with the result anyway, and sometimes I even deleted the videos. This is just a dumb idea, because looking at those videos now, I cringe anyway, so if you want to start creating something and share it publicly, you just really need to start doing, and you will improve the quality over time with practice. There's probably no amount of prep work that could hide how much we all suck at the beginning when we start doing something that's new to us. And if you are doing something consistently for a long time, you will cringe anyway when you look back just a year into the past and see your previous work. So yeah, that was dumb. But I'm sometimes pretty stubborn, and therefore I tried one more different approach where I offered people that I could create similar content for them. So I would be more behind the camera and nobody would know me, but I could still create stuff around something I love without being directly criticized. I first offered it to a Czech company called Wolflund, which is selling fantasy and historical costumes, weapons, jewelry and stuff like that. But they didn't really know what to do with a graphic designer and video editor like me, and I never really got to do what I truly wanted there, so we were working together only for like 6 months. Then I tried to do the same thing with my friend Moritz. We started a channel called Moritz Workshop, which was supposed to be about fantasy and medieval armors, gear, crafting, tailoring and cooking. We've made videos for like a half a year, but then had to stop. Yet again, because it was really challenging. We were trying to make videos consistently every week, and at the same time we were going to LARP events, battles, marches and conventions with the Nazir Brigade. I was trying to manage all of this in my free time, and it sort of worked for a while, but I think that we eventually both slowly started to feel almost burnt out with Moritz. And I was also not completely satisfied because I still wanted to make my own videos. So we eventually decided to stop. And don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed working with Moritz and I'm proud of all the work we were able to do together. We are still very good friends, we keep going to marches and we are working together on our own Slavic fantasy. But back to the video. What finally made me commit to creating my own videos was the announcement of The Witcher 1 remake. Shortly before that, I've seen this video called A Lifelong Silent Hill Fan Reacts to the New Game Announcements, where the guy talks about the remake of second Silent Hill, and since it had a lot of views, I thought that I could do something similar with the announcement of The Witcher 1 remake. I even used a similar title for the video. It didn't do much performance-wise at the time, but it got me started. The second video wasn't anything special either, but the third video about Blood Origin went really viral, considering that I had like 30 subscribers back then. It got me over the first 1000 subs immediately, and it showed me that my concerns were completely unnecessary. Nobody cared how my voice sounds, that I have a Czech accent, or that I make mistakes. What's funny is that when I was recording the commentary for that video, I was sick, so my voice sounded like shit, and you can hear it if you go back and watch the video, but again, nobody cared, and people really liked the video. So this is the second lesson. You just need to stop giving a fuck what other people might think about you. You can't let that fear stop you from doing what you really love. You will quickly find out that your fear is overblown and nobody cares about the things you think that people will criticize or find cringe about you or whatever. There will be more people loving what you do than those that hate on it. I've wasted so much time with the planning of what my channel will be about and then trying to avoid criticism. It's crazy. I could have been doing this for 8 years by now and probably be way further than I am at the moment if I wouldn't be so afraid of other people's opinions. Fortunately, I got over it eventually and all of it kind of paid off in the end because throughout the years I've changed my mind about what the focus of the channel should be, and I like this way more than the initial plan, but that was more about luck than anything. I would still recommend everyone to just start if there's something you want to do. If you overthink stuff like this, it's usually just fear holding you back. So anyway, I wanted to thank all of you who watched my videos in the past year, especially those about folklore, which get less views, but I really enjoy doing them. Even though I had to get over my fears myself, the support I got almost immediately after I decided to start definitely helped a lot. So thank you for the 5000 subs and for watching, liking and sharing the videos. See you next time.